Ice cream sundae. The fall evening was chilly, and the wind blew a tree branch repeatedly into the bedroom window. The lamp cast a warm light in the room, making it cozy and inviting in contrast to the night outside. Kelsey tucked her long, dark hair behind one ear and looked up from her laptop as her husband Michael sat down on the end of the bed. "Do you want some ice cream?" he asked, tickling her slipper-clad feet with a long finger. "With chocolate sauce?" Kelsey asked with a smile. "The works. Chocolate sauce, whipped cream, and a cherry. Are you almost done with that presentation?" Yum. Yes, please, I'd love some ice cream. And I just put the finishing touches on it. I have to save, and then I'm all ready for tomorrow's meeting. Michael padded out of their master bedroom as Kelsey saved, emailed herself a backup at work, and shut down her laptop. While she waited for Michael to deliver her Sunday night snack, she removed her flannel pajama pants and slippers, sliding her long, smooth legs under the covers. Before she leaned back, Kelsey fluffed the pillows at their headboard, then pulled the soft blanket up over her lap. She closed her eyes and relaxed her muscles until she sensed Michael's return. As he walked back into the room, he moved the dimmer switch with his elbow, turning the light low. A lit candle sat on the tray he carried, accompanied by 2 bowls of ice cream, a small ceramic pitcher of fudge sauce, whipped cream, and a crystal goblet filled with maraschino cherries. "Ooh, you weren't kidding about the works," Kelsey purred. She reached out for one of the bowls, but Michael swooped the tray out of her reach. "Patience. Lean back and have just a little patience, darling." Michael sat down cross-legged on the bed and lifted an ice cream bowl. He dipped a spoon in and scooped a healthy bite of French vanilla swirled with dark chocolate. He motioned with the spoon for her to open her mouth, and she obediently did, anticipating the rich, creamy flavors. He put the icy spoon between her lips, entering slowly enough to allow her to savor the ice cream while yearning for more. With the next spoonful, her lips were already open before he had removed it from the bowl, but he put it in his own mouth. He then leaned over and shared it with a kiss. That is good, but it needs fudge sauce," Kelsey responded, wrapping her fingers into his hair and pulling his mouth more firmly onto hers. "All in good time." Michael reached for the bowl of whipped cream and dipped his finger into it. He teased her lower lip with the sweet, creamy foam, and she sucked it clean, making him imagine her mouth on the rest of him. Lifting her pajama shirt, Michael stroked more whipped cream and a stripe across her breast. He lowered his head and enthusiastically licked her clean, pausing to suckle at her nipples as she arched toward him. Her hands clenched the sheet below her, the pleasure spinning through her body, making her desperate for more. Kelsey felt her panties grow wet, and she reached to pull Michael toward her, craving his hardness. Her fingers easily slid inside the waistband of his sweatpants, and it was merely a second before she was stroking him. His tongue faltered for just a second on her right nipple when her fingers wrapped around him, but he quickly resumed the delicious circles he had been tracing, and she had trouble focusing on everything except the swirling sensual feelings coursing through her body. "Michael," she breathed his name, barely able to speak aloud. "I'm so close. You're going to make me come." "Yes." He raised his head and smiled wickedly at her. "I am." He wrapped his fingers under the elastic of her underwear and removed them as she bucked against him. She wriggled the rest of the way out of her pajama shirt and pulled at his remaining clothing. "I want to feel you against me." Michael couldn't resist and stripped the rest of his clothing off before laying her back on the pillows and kneeling before her. He raised the pitcher of molten chocolate, now only warm, and drizzled it over the insides of Kelsey's thighs as she quivered with anticipation. He lowered his head to lick the topping from her satiny skin and reached his hand to where she ached. Michael massaged her in sync with the determined yet gentle strokes of his tongue up her legs. Writhing with ecstasy, Kelsey begged yet again, "Please." Shifting upward, Michael lifted his mouth. His hands reached below her to cup her, pulling her up toward him. Before she knew what he was doing, he was using his amazing tongue to roll one of the sweet maraschino cherries across her entrance. His tongue pulled the cherry into his mouth as it darted deeply into her in one smooth move. Unable to resist any longer, she succumbed. Oh, she couldn't stop herself from gasping as the tremors rocked her slick body. The muscles of her abdomen, legs, and back tensed in contrast to the relaxation that flooded her center in waves of pleasure. Finally, languid and sated, she sank back. Michael stretched out next to her, his fingers stroking gently up and down her side as she caught her breath. She felt his hardness against her, patiently waiting. Several deep breaths had her restored in no time, and she found herself reaching for the fudge sauce from the tray. As she used her fingers to paint stripes up and down him, she mused, I wonder if that magic shell ice cream topping only gets hard on cold things. And as he laughed, she took him in her mouth, savoring the chocolate of him.